Hi there, crafty pals. Welcome along. It's Louise with you today. It is my first share for the month of November. Let's go ahead and have a little bit of a look at this wood grained background paper. I love this. I think it's so fun to start with a wood grain and really get creative. It's almost like having a white background, but it's still a little bit textured, so it's super easy to create with. Now, given that we had some orange embellishments in the form of those frames, I do like a bit of orange on my layouts actually, so here's my encouragement to you to get creative with orange. I chose these photos. Now, these have been in my stash for a number of years, and because they were not the best quality photos, they're kind of hard to use, but they also tell a really interesting story in terms of Master Zaleb and his grandfather. So this particular night we were out to dinner and they were just being completely silly. They both, when they are together, they are just the biggest troublemakers. And that's why I have titled this layout as Troublemakers, because they just are both they're two peas in a pod. So a funny little story to go with this photo, and to make it easier on myself to craft with, so to scrapbook, I put it all together as a collage. So you can see that I've used photo editing software, and in this case I use a product called PicMonkey, but Canva does the same thing. So if you have a preference for one or the other, definitely use what you're familiar with. So lots of free editing software out there that you can actually create collages for your layouts, and they just make the act of creating super easy. So instead of having to work with 6 or 7 different photos and try to lay them on the page, the hard work's been done. I've printed it once and I can go ahead and get creative. So I'm going to lay, as you can see, some of those frames into my background, and I'm gluing them all down with tacky glue. So what I did by actually cutting them off as I use them is it gives me a chance to save the back sides of the frames and reuse them on the same layout, so I don't end up with a bunch of half-cut frames. So cut them as you use them, because then you can relay those around the page. Now, because I had this sort of wood grain background and I had a little bit of black in that background with the pops of orange, I decided to go with this black and white stripy paper from my stash to actually mount my photo. And I really like how this kind of gives it that striking standout appeal. I've distressed it a little bit around the edges. It's probably one of my favorite things to do at the moment. I just love the texture you get when you're distressing papers. I think, you can do it as little or as much as you like, and it'll actually give you some really interesting texture without making your layout too bulky. Now, this particular collection, so the November kit, has some fabulous embellishments. Love, love, love. I think, they're very pretty. There's lots of little florals and some leaves. And so I'm just popping a few different things. As us DT girls say, we're auditioning items to position them on a layout. So this is always fun, and trying to work out where I'm going to put things, embellish them. As you can see from a previous kit, I have used some black sparkly letters to make my Troublemaker title. I certainly will always encourage you to handwrite your journaling. It is something that future generations will love to see and read, even if it's just a short couple of sentences and a date. I'm also pulling from my stash these little stickers. So again, just using black to enhance that layout a tiny bit, spreading those around the page. And then for the final steps, I'm just going to add a couple of these little enamel dots. So off camera, I've glued all those embellishments down and adding a little bit of glue behind some of the heart embellishments to finish. So that's my share for you today. I hope that you enjoyed and liked hearing my story about these little troublemakers. And I thank you for watching.